No stirrup November.
So you think with them, kind of before we get going, just the basic idea without the stirrup now, we can't or don't want the leg position to change relative to where we want it later with the stirrup. Meaning, I'm not going to get on them and just like let my toe point to the ground and kind of loose, sloppy leg. I'm going to think I want a little bit of bend in my knee, so my knee is right where it'd be in the knee roll normally. I want the toe, instead of thinking heel down, I just think and pull the toe up, so I keep kind of the angle in the ankle. The big thing I was noticing when you went sitting, and you can see it a bit in the rising trot is, and I think that's too where you felt like you wanted to shorten the stirrups, he just looked like he was trying to kind of project you too much out of his back and not let you sit into him enough. So then in the sitting trot, as you got in, you have to fight that projection or that bounce, and he was getting you just a little too far back into the back seat of the saddle. So thinking now without the stirrups, really kind of letting your seat slide up toward the pommel as close as you can get, kind of tucking forward, right? Where you go, I don't want my butt touching the cantle of the saddle, theoretically. So I want to kind of keep myself scooted forward away from that. Sitting trot when you're ready, toes pulled up. Good, you think you really fight that feeling of turning the toe out, let the toe come in, heel goes out, seat up by the pommel, tucking forward, eyes up, chin up, you got it. Body tall, keep tucking your seat forward. Little bit of bend in the knee so your lower leg stays back underneath you. Good. Body tall. Hands together. Good. Super. Legs back. Bend the knee just a little. There you go. Good. Do you do that on your own? No stirrups? Yeah. I mean, it's one of those like, nobody will ever be able to take away from you having a good position. But they'll always be able to criticize you for not having a good one. You know what I mean? It's absolutely worth doing the work now. And I mean, I hate to say that in some ways, kind of teasing, but at your age, there's no excuse to not sit well or have a good position. But it's one of those things at your age, it's like the torture to have to do. I mean, it's torture even as you get older, but it's almost more torture as you get older. But I know the feeling is you want to do more or kind of bite off more, but I want to get you where like you get that feeling, that lock of the seat, the anchor, that position so solid. It's like you just spend the rest of your life enjoying it instead of fighting against it. Yeah? Bending the knee, seat tucked forward. Yeah, good. Nice, body tall. Super. It's one of the things they didn't like about me as the youth coach. Because it wasn't me, I'm not being mean to you, right? But I was like, I'm not interested in the tricks if we can't get you to sit right. You don't sit poorly in that regard, like you're not sitting in a, oh my God, what a terrible rider at all. It's more, you're so close to sitting really well, I don't want to ignore the couple of little things, because it'll really work against you in the long run. And just the older you get, the harder it is to correct later. Yeah. So part of that is a bit with the eyes, right? No more the looking down, whether it's at the pommel, at his front feet. It's just, I know like half the time you don't even realize that you're doing it, right? And lots of people do that. No looking anywhere other than between his ears. That goes to the mirror as well. No looking in the mirror right now. Part of that's just discipline and as a rider to go, I can get so zoned into this perfect spot and this disciplined, like tunnel vision mentality that I have that much control. Eyes staying up, good. Rising trot, like I said, we're going to tip you forward, but in the sitting trot here, you just think tall. Good. Seat tucking forward toward the pommel, no looking in the mirror. Good. Bending the knee to just bring the lower leg back. You got it. Toe pulled up. Good. Eyes up. You can, or when you're ready. Take your time. Good. Nice. Toe up. Letting the knee relax so the leg just drapes long. Good. Toe turned in. Nice. That's good with the hands there too. Your fingers and wrists, you can think, I can touch my hands together, but within that kind of knuckle touching, my wrists can move like this. My fingers can kind of not open the reins, but like squeeze tight like you make a fist, and just soften the fist and make a fist. There's a lot you can do with the bit in there without moving the hands from that spot. That's just good training, right? To go, I'm way more influential or have more influence than it feels like I do at first. So to kind of play with that, exploit it, and really try to get it working to your advantage. Nice, trot again. That's good with the toes up like that. Keep turning the toe in, and good with the leg back. Super. Letting your knee just release a little bit so that the leg drapes along. One thing you also want to kind of pick up on to the sitting trot in particular, the trot itself has kind of two phases, right? It has a down phase. Just like when you rise in the trot, you go up, you go down. The sitting trot still has the up and down phase, except our butt never leaves the saddle. So you feel the down phase, the now, bop, 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 bop. And you want to just let yourself land a little heavy, so that you get a lot of flexibility. There you go. Through your waist, through your hips, through your core, really swinging. Right? You got it. There's also a bit of the up phase, the harder to time. Up, 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 where your hip is swinging forward. So you can't overthink it about the down, the up. There's not enough time. We tend to overthink or think of or fixate on the down. Land heavy. Now you let your weight of your body sink deep and loose. Canter again. Nice. Good. Especially ones like him, like you're describing, if they can get a little tight in the back and be a little funny that way, and the way they respond in the back or load the hand, the looser I can get in my seat, in my hips, through my waist, absorbing, the more softness I also convey down to him. So very focused on that kind of swinging looseness in your seat in that sitting trot. Good. Knee loose so the leg is long. Toe pulled up, body stretched tall. Change direction when you're ready. No looking in the mirror. Eyes. Good. That's big too in that. Again, any major turn of my neck starts to pull my shoulders a little out of balance, out of whack, in relativity to their body's alignment. No looking, eyes straight. Good. Hands together. Good. Knees bent, that lower leg is back. Good. Bend the left knee, body tall. Canter this way again. Good. Toes staying up. Good. Hold up and heel turn out so you get that flat. Nice. Eyes straight, right between the ears. Eyes. You got it. Good. I like that with the leg position. Nice. Looks like the leg's starting to get longer and longer, deeper and deeper. Good. Trot again. Body super tall. Eyes absolutely straight between his ears. Toe pulled up. Good. Knee bent so the leg stays back. Canter again when you're ready. Good. Toe turned in. Good. Body tall. Way better too overall with the hands coming together. I'm liking that. Good. Trot again. Stretch tall into it. Think about that little kind of bouncing, landing heavy, letting your abs almost loose, kind of swing or bounce phase of the sit of the trot. Good. Da, 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 da. Landing heavy down and in. Good. Walk break when you're ready to go. That actually looks pretty good there without the strips. Just little things which are normal to just keep kind of constantly, quietly working you through to remind your body to go back to it. That being like the toe in, the heel down, the bend to the knee, so on. The eyes become really important. I mean, I know the mirrors are there and you want to look at it, but like when my teacher was so mean about it in the end, he's like, watch the video afterwards. Because the moment you're turning and looking and doing, you're pushing or throwing yourself always out of balance. So you kind of turn, you look in the mirror, the horses are going to wobble a little bit, even though we don't even notice because we're busy looking in the mirror. afterwards now we're destabilized, out of balance, having to recover again. So our body, their body, never just gets that cruise, that disciplined kind of focus of just staying in one spot.